Hi there, everyone. So, why is it that we can feel disconnected sometimes? Why is it that we can feel like we are out of sorts, or nobody cares, or you don't have the get up and go to do the things that you came to the planet for? It just kind of leaves you for some reason. Where does it go? So today we're going to answer that question, or at least some of the key reasons why that can happen. And more importantly, we are going to start a conversation, the beginnings, I would say, of how do you stay in that groove more consistently. Now, why did this come up today? It came up today because I was having a conversation, was noticing on some of our private Facebook pages that some people were feeling a little bit down. They were feeling like just in this groove. Have you ever felt this? In this groove of like, why aren't things working? Or how come I'm down again? Which, by the way, the why question is an interesting question when you're asking why am I feeling down, or why am I feeling depressed, or why aren't I feeling connected? When you ask the question why in that realm, in that space, of course, it takes you down the grease line, slippery slope to hell, quite frankly, because you start looking at all the reasons why you feel that way, but it actually never gives you a solution. That's why I want to have the conversation today, because it's real easy to stay unmotivated, and it's real easy to get all sorts of explanations why you're unmotivated, but I am so uninterested in assisting you with the reasons why. Except just to give your mind some peace. Enough to give your mind peace, but let's get on with what do you do? Aren't you more interested in what do you do? Aren't you? But here are some of the reasons why. First of all, most people that are sensitive have felt disconnected from their biological family, or most of their biological family, for a long time. They don't feel like they really belong in that. They don't feel like they belong in the world somehow, or they belong in the world but only with the unicorns, and unicorns are a little independent sometimes. However, what's really interesting and what I'm noticing is the younger generations are revering this sense of community, revering this sense of let's do this together, revering this sense of how do we change a planet. And I love that. We're feeling it too, but with anyone over, let's say 40-ish, there's this strange thing, this strange way of being we've been trained into called independence. Like somehow being happy, but being independently happy and not needing anyone else is more, pure. It's more admirable. It gets more accolades because you did it all by yourself. That is insane. That's insane. The only way that human beings find a sense of fulfillment in life is through having other human beings in their lives. And remember, the family that you were born to is not necessarily your soul family. In fact, likely not. Now, with biological family, oftentimes we're expected to make phone calls or talk to them or hang out with them or spend holidays with them. That's not actually a bad thing to do when you're with soul family, but because we've been trained into this sense of independence, this strange sense, this strange cultural belief that it's got more value as a human, that we become fulfilled and happy, but we don't get anyone else's contribution. Nobody else is allowed to help. Because if we did it all of ourselves, then we've won. And I have some people that are very close to me that have that paradigm that they shouldn't need my help, or they shouldn't need their other friends' help, or they shouldn't need uplifting for others. They should be able to do it themselves. That is just crazy talk. Human beings are born social animals. So I was just talking to my sweetie, and we were talking about confidence. So this is the story I'm going to share and the how-to. We were talking about confidence, and I could get this sense even from him that he wanted to somehow get somewhere in a project that he's working on. And the getting somewhere in that project had to be completely done by himself. And I said, is this life we're living about me or about you or you proving yourself or me proving myself? Or is it about making contribution to others? Because if it's about making contribution to others, then who gives a crap where the assistance comes from? Who gives a hoot who assists us to fly? And I told him the story of how we're creating Agents of Awakening, but it is basically this idea that everyone around the world wants to have a place where they can go that fosters and nurtures contribution to others. It fosters and nurtures great ideas that, change the world. It fosters and nurtures our ability to create upon creation and create a different world. So how cool is that we have this gorgeous world waiting full of people that want a place to expend their energy and be inspired and be educated about how to lead and want to do it together instead of apart. And that I met this woman the other day who is doing exactly that. And she's 35 years old. And she said she's looking for a place to take her skill sets and apply them. And I said, oh my God, I would love for you to come and play. And there was no idea in my head of I should do that alone, or this should be my baby, or some financial consideration or whatever. There was only the question, how do we do that? How do we come together and build bridges for humanity and create a venue that fosters people building bridges for humanity? Because that's all human beings want to do these days, and we need a place for them to go. So that is the opposite of doing it all by yourself. So when you're in your heart, when you're in your purpose, when you feel called, when you're going direct with consciousness, you feel like, who else can help me? How else can I be assisted? And you look for those who can do that. The way out of the mess of being in that spiral downward where you feel all by yourself, the way out of that mess where you feel like there's no way out, or you feel unmotivated, or you wonder how the universe has forsaken you, the way out is to call someone. Now, that's an immediate way out, or to listen to this again, or whatever it is. But in the long run, it is crazy to think that we don't need a system. You need a system. So this is the cherry on the top. The system includes every day talking to either someone new or someone the same or several different people, so that you can feel connected. You can feel reminded of who you are. You can feel activated. You can feel seen. You can feel heard. You can co-create. You can feel connected to Mother Earth. You can feel connected to another living thing. It's part of the system of being human. The number one cause of depression is a feeling of lack of community. It's a fundamental need. So to think that you should do it all by yourself just doesn't make sense. And it's time to snap out of it. Have compassion for yourself, but compassion for yourself is not enough. A system of making sure that you are fundamentally connected so that you can build upon that sense of connection and be all that you can be in this world and express yourself. That connection is a fundamental assumption you should make, that you need it. That this is not a world that's looking for a bunch of independent beings that are trying to prove themselves. This is a world that's looking for co-creative spirits who want to come together and prove that 1 + 1 = 11. So when you feel down because you're feeling isolated, you're feeling down because you're isolating yourself. It's a redirect from consciousness. That feeling is a redirect. It's consciousness saying, well then stop isolating. Make a phone call. But I look stupid and I'm ashamed of myself. That's nice. That's nice, because if someone else that loves you knew that you were isolating yourself and feeling crappy and all you had to do was call them, they'd be very angry at you if they love you. Right? All right, you guys. So that is today's message. Today's message is all about feeling disconnected and down sometimes, and knowing that it's not just about picking up the phone and calling when you feel down. It's about preventing it in the first place and making sure you set up systems so that you constantly have that connection. All right, this is Jennifer. I'm not signed off yet, though. I'm going to say one more thing. This is just separate. Okay, so if you're good with that, then you don't have to stick around, but I'm going to say something else. The biggest thing that I'm interested in, as you know, if you've heard one word from me, is I am interested in not just that we always feel connected. I'm interested in assisting humanity to get connected to their higher levels, to get connected to not just this earthly family, but get connected to the greater wisdom that we all have not yet fully embodied. So if we allow ourselves to upgrade our physical bodies to a new default level of connection to infinite wisdom, which forms 99% of us, all of a sudden you never feel alone. So my interest is in changing our default level of connection such that we never feel alone, that we're in communion with higher levels all the time, such that we feel in love and in connection with the entirety of the environment around us, and therefore have a level of confidence that sort of transcends the normal human level of confidence. So that is why we're doing the upcoming Get Out of Your Own Way to Going Direct with Consciousness, with your own innate wisdom. Going direct with your own innate wisdom is all about upgrading that default. So if you have not yet checked that out, please make sure you do, because we want to see you there. You can do it online, or you can come in person to Asheville, North Carolina, and you can see more about that particular program, which starts I think the third weekend in March, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. www.thewideawakening.com/going direct. Okay, find out about it. Don't let yourself talk yourself out of getting out of your own way, because you kind of have to get out of your way to do a program called Get Out of Your Own Way. So it's kind of funny that people are like, no, I can't. Just don't let your mind, that's how you start to go direct. You actually let yourself go direct. You let yourself do it. That's the beginning part. So I just wanted to share that, because even though we had the message earlier on that I just gave, which if you just joined us, please go back and listen to it. But you can listen to that message, just how to do it in the immediate. What I'm saying is, what about upgrading your entire three-dimensional biology so that you're always connected to all of who you are and you never feel disconnected? That is what I'm really interested in doing. So go and check it out. I will put the link below in the comments, and I love you guys, and have a great rest of your day. Comment, ask questions. I'm always here. So happy to support you. So is Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse is very happy to support you always, of course, by kissing you and loving you and being incredibly cute. Okay, love you guys. Have a great rest of your day.